I think one of the really damaging things, and one of the areas where the police reputation is being really badly damaged, is in what we see, areas where we see discretion not being exercised, such as there are two old ladies holding a sign.
Yeah.
Okay. And the police decide to walk up to them and arrest them and create trouble. There's someone sitting alone on a park bench and they get harassed. But then also the areas where there is, at a minimum, a perception, and I hold the perception, so I'm going to say it's true, because as far as I'm concerned, it is true, that different types of protests are being treated very differently. BLM, of course, was the big example of that. Zoe Buller is another example, when what she called for in her Facebook post was legal in Ballarat at the time. They were not under stage 4 restrictions. They were under stage 3 restrictions. And she specifically said in the post, please maintain your social distancing and obey all the orders. And yet she was arrested for incitement of what? Of obeying the chose orders. What was the issue there? This discretion issue, it sounds nice, but it only works if the officers are actually using their discretion and are seen to be using their discretion in ways that make sense. And I don't really have a question to that, but I feel like we're really losing our faith in police officers and in their discretion. I don't know. I just, this is one of the problems to me. Take, for example, I'll give another example, the issue of the incitement charges, Matt, that you brought up. I'm up on 2 incitement charges now. Incitement was a crime that was brought in. It was introduced in legislation for the purpose of making sure that we could hold accountable, for example, a terrorist mastermind. Yeah. They might not have been the person who made the bomb. They might not have been the person who set off the bomb, but they incited the person to do all of those things. And we need to hold those people accountable. Okay, fair enough. And people warn, whenever these new laws come in, people say, oh, but that could be misused. That law could be misused. And the answer is always yes, but the police are going to use their judgment. They're going to use their discretion. The court system is going to use its discretion. And now we see incitement charges being thrown at mothers who are trying to organize legal protests that are compliant with the chose orders. What happened to discretion? I mean, I understand your argument, Krystle, but I'm not seeing it in reality.
That's where I saw the politicization of the police. Because so for me, it was like, well, hang on, this girl, Zoe, she's this pregnant woman. She's organized this protest. I don't know the full circumstances. Obviously, I wasn't involved in that investigation. Sure. But my understanding is that either A, she misread the CHO directions and thought she could do a protest that was legal, or B, the protest that she was planning was legal, and for whatever reason, the investigators determined that she was doing something that was insightful. But either way, you looked at that situation and you're just like, this is such a massive overreach, and we don't treat like hardened criminals like this sometimes. Like, this is full on, and this is political, because she's organizing a protest about a political issue, and we're coming down on her really, really harshly about a political issue. This doesn't feel right at all.